I know I'm the best looking one here on the side.
And we'll tell you are. We got that in your hand, right?
Now that you've seen a fine vessel, see, it's important to know where you're going, and more importantly, how to get back from where you're going. Now, we Norse are experts. We're better than the English, we're better than the Irish, we're better than the Franks. We're the best in the world. We're all so modest. Now, obviously you're in a wooden boat, so the worst thing you can be doing is sailing in fog or inclement weather. So you really want to sail in nice weather if at all possible. But if you get stuck out in the weather, there are some methods that we do use to get us back safely to shore. If you're out in the nighttime, you want to use a little stick called the husanatra. And you use the husanatra simply by putting the base of it on the horizon, and you mark where the North Star is to, or the Polaris Star, which we Norse named North Star Polaris, by the way. So you mark it tonight. 2 or 3 nights later, you're sailing and you want to find out where you've gone from your original position. You put the stick on the horizon again, and you would mark it. And if that night you had gone, the North Star is lower, you knew you had gone south. If the North Star is higher, you knew you had gone north. And an experienced sailor would have notches throughout the stick to tell him how far south he would have to go. If you're leaving Oslo and you want to go to, say, Iceland, you know that you would have to go from one of these notches up to here to get in there. Now, if you're sailing in the daytime, first we have, it's called a bearing dial. Putting it in the ground before the sun rises. Once the sun rises, it casts a shadow off this point all day. So sunrise until it sets, you'll put a little mark at the top of the shadow throughout the day. Once the sun sets, connect all the points. Throughout the day, this little mark will be pointing towards, you know, north would be. 2 or 3 days later when you're out at sea, if you want to find where north is again, you put this, you rotate it until the shadow just barely touches on that line. Wherever your mark is pointing that day is north. It works on a very simple basis that the sun's position doesn't change in the sky in a matter of a couple of days. So if that's where your shadow was touching on that line 2 days ago, if that's where your shadow is touching on the line today, that's where north is today. After settle Greenland, he left with 25 ships. And when they arrived, they had nearly half of those ships gone. 14 Viking ships arrived. The Vikings would lose. They had excellent crafts, but sailing in the northern part of the world, getting caught in heavy weather, heavy ice flows, they actually had a word that would describe the loss of a ship at sea. It was called half-villa. H-A-F-V-I-L-L-A. And it was one single word to mean to describe a ship that was lost at sea.
The pole, and it acts as a spring. It works in such a way your foot goes inside this loop down here, and as you kick back, the friction from the rope will rotate the wood that you're using to make your bowl. And basically that's what this lathe